Welcome back. Many Texans are ready for Monday when fitness centers and gyms will be allowed to reopen. But Fox 44's Brian Glenn has a word of caution before you start pumping iron once again.
Are we ready to work out? And are we at risk of getting injured? Joining me now is Junior. He's a personal trainer to answer all of our questions. And I know the gyms may be open, but are we ready to work out? And are we at risk of walking out of there injured?
Yes and no. It's according to, if you know, during this whole epidemic and pandemic that people have had the chance to kind of sit back and relax a little bit. A lot of them have just said, hey, you know what, I'm just going to wait. So, you know, if the people were really active before this pandemic and then they just kind of relaxed a little bit, when you find out that the gyms are going to open, you do kind of get a little excited, get the little adrenaline rush and so forth, and you're like, okay, tomorrow's the day. But the worst thing about it is we can't go back in and do exactly what we did before this pandemic. So from this time and this break that we've had, it's, you know, we have to take it slow and we have to take our time.
And maybe I'm looking at it from a personal standpoint. I know I'm going to try to go back in and push as much weight as I used to push, putting me at risk of pulling a muscle or perhaps, you know, getting on the treadmill and running too much and pulling something there as well. What can we do to ensure that, you know, do we need to pump the brakes a little bit? What can we do to avoid injuries?
Well, the first thing, I think this is really a great time because we can look at it as this is our January 1st again.
Absolutely.
You know, this is our reset. This is our start over. And if with that being said, instead of going back in and doing what we did because we had a big layoff, we take our time. We just take it slow. You know, sometimes we look at that as 25-pound dumbbells, or we look at those 245, you know, plates that we want to put in the bench press, or we look at this weight, or we push our treadmill to this level that we normally are. Just take it slow. There's no rush. As I said, if it's January 1st, let's take our time. There's nothing wrong with grabbing a 10-pound dumbbell or a 5-pound dumbbell or being able to start walking on the treadmill. Just taking it slow, because what our mind's going to tell us is, I can do it. But what our body's going to say is something else, especially if we go too much.
Yeah, it's great advice. Plus, a lot of facilities have new restrictions on what you can do there. So I guess probably one of the biggest takeaways is have some patience with yourself.
Most definitely.
And be understanding that you can't stand next to somebody like you used to, but just have a little bit of patience with the machines. Maybe somebody's on a machine and maybe you got to take a step back. Give yourself a little bit more time to work out.
Well, most of the gyms have new regulations. You know, I've heard some gyms you have to make reservations. So you really don't have a lot. You won't have that many people in there that you used to compare yourself to, or you'd see one person doing one thing and you want to say, well, I think I can do that too. Or, you know, so that kind of gives you that little rush. Now you just have to focus on yourself and focus on yourself. Listen to what your body tells you. Taking your time, just step by step, you know, just going slow.
Well, Junior, we appreciate your time today.
Well, appreciate it. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So everybody, I mean, just go out, get back in the gyms when you want to. If not, continue to keep running outside or continue to do, you know, work out at your home gyms. So, but thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.